Everybody have a good day?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I was kind of hard on you this morning.
No, he wasn't.
No? It's okay? All right. This afternoon, I'm going to get real practical. We're going to go into teaching mode. I'm going to give you some things that will get you some results. How many people would like to have massive results the next 90 days? Understand, we're in a business of market share, right? Outside in the network marketing profession, there are some who rise in the summer, and there are some who fade in the summer. Those who rise get market share. Inside this company, there's going to be some who fade for the next 90 days, and there's going to be some who explode and grow the next 90 days. The people who say, well, you know, that's not a good time. Let's focus on making it happen in the spring or making it happen in the fall. We'll leave summer alone. That's the conversation for the people who are not going to succeed in our business. That's not a conversation for you. For you, it's an opportunity to take what you've learned this weekend and give it legs. Make it run. Okay? So to start, I want to talk about one main idea, and that's this word confidence. Confidence. If you see the successful people in our business, they have a certain level of confidence. And the opposite of confidence, at least from my perspective in our business, is fear. And make no mistake, we are in the fear management business. We're managing our own fears. We're helping other people manage their fears. We deal with it every day. If you're not taking action, it's not because you're lazy. It's because you have some fear in here that's causing you to be distracted. That's causing you to be paralyzed. It's causing you to run away from the game. There's something in there, in the programming, that's causing you to pull back when you could step forward. Okay? So, in looking at this and talking with a lot of the top earners in network marketing, one of my favorite things to do is to sit down and talk with the top earners and pick their brains. Find out what are the common characteristics, because if we could look at 100 or 200 or 500 people making $1 million a year in network marketing, we could find some clues, couldn't we? We could find some clues, and those clues would be valuable. So let me give you some of the clues towards confidence in our business. One is understanding. Once you understand what we have in network marketing, once you understand the value of our profession, once you understand the gift that you have, someone who has an entrepreneurial spirit, once you understand the significance of your products, once you understand the long-term vision of your company, once you understand the fact that you can start a business anywhere and start to build it around the world for pennies, when other people have to invest millions. Once you understand the gift that we have inside of network marketing, then you'll tend to start to feel a little bit more confident about it. Make sense? Once you gain a greater understanding, when you first get involved in network marketing, you don't have a lot of confidence because you have no understanding about what we do. Here's what people think when they join network marketing. They think, I can think of 3, 4, 5, 6 people that might do this too. So if I get involved, I can quickly get them involved. I can take my risk, I can pass it on to them, and maybe I can make some money. That's what goes through the mind of every single person who decides to join network marketing. Virtually every person, not every single person, but virtually every person. When the candidate list in their mind gets long enough, they pull out their credit card. That's when it happens. Okay, so that's their level of understanding. They don't understand the true value of what we have. This is an amazing gift that we have in our profession. So understanding is key. Anybody have seen the documentary Rise of the Entrepreneur? Anybody seen that? You know what's funny? We designed that for a person outside of the business to take a look, for a prospect to kind of understand what it is that we do. But you know what its greatest value has been? Helping people inside network marketing develop a level of understanding about what it is that we do. That's been its greatest impact. Inside the business, not outside. So, tools like that, anything that you can read, anything that you can get around, getting around positive people that will, not necessarily positive, but wise people about our profession that can help you raise your level of understanding. Okay? Now, here's a word of caution for you professional, personal development people out there. Did you know that there's professional personal development people? How many people know someone who's gone to school and has never left? Anybody? They're going back for one more degree, one more master's, one more PhD. By the time I'm 60, I think I'll have enough to be able to go out into the world. But that can happen inside of personal development too. You get involved in network marketing, and all you do is watch training videos and read books and listen to programs and go to courses, and that's all you do. You never take action because you're getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. And you can get trapped in that. Personal development's really important. However, it can be a trap. Most of the learning in what we do in our business is in the doing. That's where most of the learning is. Now, understand, I'm a huge fan of personal development. But if you're not taking action, that means you have some fears in here that are causing you to hold back from starting down the road. Okay? So if that's you, you're getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. Just one more book and then I'll get started. Just one more course and then I'll get started. I need just to go to one more class and then I'll get started. Understand that there's a balance. So understanding is number one. Number two, skills. Skills. Why do you think I pound on skills? I pound on them. Skills, 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 skills. Think about anything that you've ever been confident at in your life. Anything. If you're a great student, if you were a good teacher, if you were good at a sport, if you're good at anything you've ever been good at, why are you confident about it? Because you have the skills. That's why. You can have all the understanding in the world, but if you don't have the skills, you can only feel so confident. Somebody can knock you off track. Now, you don't have to practice for forever, but you just get competent and then start to work from there. I learned something in this skill development thing called plan, do, review. Here's how to get great at anything. Plan, do, review. Make a plan, do that plan, and then review it and make a better plan. So a person who showed this to me when I was in my 20s changed my whole life, because plan, do, review is part of my whole DNA now. Every time I do something, immediately afterwards, I'm reviewing. Can I do better? What could I do with this? How could I improve for that? Did this story work? Did this analogy work? Did this metaphor work? Yes, no, I get feedback, I make a better plan. And then I do it, and then I review it. And the person who showed it to me said, Eric, can you improve 0.03% per day? Can you improve 0.03% in one day? Yes, of course. You read a paragraph and you can get better, 0.03% better, right? Sure you can. You just smile 3 more times. Say hello, be friendly. Just a little bit more. You can get better. And so whatever it is, the skill, if you could just do this, here's the magic of this. In 1 year, it's 100%. You can be 100% better in 1 year. Okay? And that's not the magic. In year 2, you'd be 200%. Year 3 is 400. Year 4 is 800. Year 5 is 1,600. Year 6 is 3,200. My 7th year, the first year I made $1 million in network marketing, I was 6,400% better. So take a minimum wage person and make them 6,400% better, and they're going to be making some pretty good money. But it was about saying, what are the skills? There's only 7 fundamental skills in our business, and just lean on them. Lean on them. It's like, you ever see an old-fashioned grinding wheel where they're grinding a sword or something? It's grinding and grinding and grinding. Take yourself and lean on that grinding wheel on every skill and just get a little bit better. Just get a little bit better. Just get a little bit better. Do it. Plan, do, review. Get a little bit better. Try it again. Do a little bit better. When it doesn't work, learn from it. Do a little bit better. When it works, remember, do it again. Do it again. Make it a little bit stronger. See what I mean? Find those keys that unlock the skills for you. So you can lean on anything. You want to become a great speaker? Start speaking and plan to review. You want to find unlimited great people to talk to about your business? Start down that process and plan to review. You want to get people started effectively? Come up with a game plan to do it, start doing it, and plan to review. And get it better and better and better. Guess what BK does every single day? What did he do this weekend? He planned to review this weekend. He made a plan for the last one, coming into this one. Okay, we got this. This is the best we've ever had. And guess what? This next one's going to be better than this one. You know why? Because he's going to plan to review. It's what entrepreneurs do. That's how we work out the bugs. That's how we figure it out. And understand, you don't have to be great to start with plan to review. You just have to start. You just got to get moving. Lean on that grinding wheel. Start knocking those big chunks off. Smoothing that thing out. Sharpening that edge. Getting better every single day. Got it? Okay, good. 3 is programming. What do I mean by programming? All of us are a human computer. And inside of our minds, if you're going to program a computer, you enter all these different codes into the computer. You have input into the computer. And that creates an output. That creates a result from that computer. We are computers. Well, we haven't been programmed by someone thinking about the optimum way to help a human being succeed in life. We've been programmed with the opinions of our family, the opinions of our friends, by our upbringing, by our parents, by our teachers, by the media, every single day telling us what to do, what to buy, how to feel, what's important, what's valuable, what's not valuable. Some of you have been told that being an entrepreneur is greedy and not nice in the world. Business is bad. Rich people are evil. In order to be successful, you have to take advantage of others. That's what some people believe. They've been programmed this way. So some of you have been programmed that, guess what? You're nothing and you'll never be anything. You've been told since you were 5 years old that you're never going to be successful. That programming goes in, and if it's not quickly corrected, it can become a virus. You got to work on those viruses. What are the things that are holding you back? What I deal with people around the world on a daily basis. And you know what I see more than anything else? Worthiness issues. People don't feel worthy. They don't feel deserving of the good things in life. They don't feel capable of the great things in life. I grew up in a family that my parents are beautiful, amazing people, and I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and we grew up in a scrappy family. And my parents would go to garage sales. That was like their favorite thing in the world. Going to garage sales, sifting through other people's junk, putting on other people's clothes. I can't even think about it to this day. Here, try this on. No, I don't want to try that on. But buying stuff for quarters and nickels and buying breakfast cereal by the big box. Same breakfast cereal, big huge blocks of cheese in the refrigerator. all kinds of crazy stuff. Their biggest passion was to get a bargain. They went nuts. If somebody mislabeled something at the store, it was the best day ever. They said, no, look, the label. Then they'd say, guess what? They labeled this at 49 cents instead of $49. They'd be so happy. And I don't know what it was for me, because at least I didn't for a while. But I'm sharing you some of my programming issues, okay? Because I had some significant programming issues, and they affected my business in network marketing in a dramatically negative way. Now I'm going to talk to some of you leaders here, because this might apply to you. I said, I'm not going to live like that. I want to be able to earn enough money to be able to do what I want to do. I don't want to look at price tags. I don't want to wonder how much the bill is for dinner. I don't want to haggle. My dad loves to haggle. I can't haggle. They say, what's the price? Okay, I'll give it to you. Well, my dad is like, well, he's probably bought and sold 5,000 cars in my lifetime. He lives with me in my home in Minnesota. There's 4 cars in my driveway. He's only driving one of them. But he just can't help it. He's haggling out in the driveway. Well, what about this? What about that? Haggling. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to live different. And I left, and guess what? I got into network marketing, and I said, this is my thing. I'm going to be able to earn that new car. I'm going to put a pool in the backyard. I'm going to do stuff, not just for the getting of it, but for what I'm going to have to become in order to be able to get it. But my worthiness issues didn't manifest themselves in the earning. They manifested themselves in the keeping. So here's the thing. Hear me on this. I was really uncomfortable having money. I had a worthiness issue about it. So I found ways to spend it. I found ways to invest it poorly. I found ways to sabotage, unconsciously, my own organization. I'd have momentum, and then, leaders, listen to me, I have momentum, I had things going on, and then I would pull back for reasons I couldn't even understand. For 2 or 3 weeks, I wouldn't return phone calls, I wasn't available, I wasn't dependable, my organization would get mad at me. I'd get into crisis mode, and I'd say, okay, I'm back. And I would repeat that over and over and over, and there was a ceiling on my organization that was self-imposed by me because of my own worthiness. I was the guy who had to pay for everyone's dinner. I was the guy who had to take care of everyone's challenge. That was my own worthiness coming out. So I want you to write down 3 phrases. Write this down, please. 1, I am worthy. 2, I am deserving. 3, I am capable. And it was hard for me to say those words. My mentor, one of my key mentors growing up in this profession was Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn did something. We brought him into our company to do a speech. And my mentor, the most humble, amazing man ever, he stands up there, he gets this huge round of applause, and he says, thank you very much for that warm round of applause. I deserve it. What? You deserve it? But he was right. He was making a point to me, saying, guess what? You're deserving. It's okay. You don't have to apologize for the accomplishments that you've made. You don't have to make them small. You don't have to make somebody else's small accomplishments bigger to diminish yourself. It's not ego that says you're deserving. It's self-worth that says you're deserving. This is hard for some leaders, and it's hard for me. So repeat after me. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am deserving.
I am deserving.
I am capable.
I am capable.
I'm going to take this thing to the top.
I'm going to take this thing to the top.
Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop me.
I'm unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable.
See what I mean? So I'm just asking you to inspect your business and inspect your life. And is worthiness issues or programming starting to impact your business? Are you pulling back when you shouldn't be? Are you throttling back? Are you putting a lid on yourself? Are you playing small when you're not designed to play small in order to not hurt somebody else's insecure feelings? Be the leader you're supposed to be. Don't make yourself small in order to be able to prop up some illusion from somebody else. Okay? All right. Let me share with you different stages of living, because people can become addicted to different stages of living. There are 4 main stages of living. Stage number 1 is what I would call crisis stage. Oh my gosh, I have to get $500 or they're going to turn off my phone. Take somebody under 25 and tell them that, they're going to find $500 real fast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we got to pay that bill or they're turning off the electricity. Guess what happens every single time? You get it figured out. How did you do it? You don't even know. But it's just magical. When crisis hits, you can solve it, right? The next level is survival. And guess what most of us are really good at? Surviving. It's part of some of our identity. I'm a survivor. You can live there if you like. I would encourage you not to. But you can live, I'm a survivor. I exist. I'm going to keep existing. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay? So here's what happens. A person is surviving, and usually when you're surviving, as soon as your basic needs are met, you start to fade. Those of you in school, this is called the night before the big test. Uh-oh. Time for an all-night Vemma party. Pass the test. As soon as you pass, do you study the next night? No. Start to fade. And then next one, whoop. See, this crisis is external things. Somebody telling you, if you don't do this, there's going to be consequence. If you're late for work again, you're going to lose your job. Okay, I'll start doing it. Right? So this is where most people spend their whole life. This is fun. It's like Pong with no bricks in between.
There's no color.
That's their whole life. Every month, they get to crisis within about the last week of the month when they still wait for the next paycheck. They gotta wait. They can't do anything. Then they get the paycheck. Back to survival. Then quickly blow it as fast as possible. Some people do it on a weekly basis. Get to the weekend, blow it, start over.
Yeah.
Get to the next weekend, blow it, start over. Over and over and over and over and over. But here's the thing that I want you to understand. The next level is success. And it's the same distance as between crisis and survival, as between survival and success. So when you have to make that next $500 to pay the phone bill, you can keep going and make the next 500. But in order to do that, you have to have internal reasons that are strong enough that'll make you do it when you don't have to. This is the call of maturity in life. This is when you need to grow up and say, guess what? No one's going to sit here and make me do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do it because I'm driven to a different level. I'm called to something bigger. See, the whole world is attracted to crisis. See, I was attracted to crisis because I would thrive. I would step in. I would never study for any tests, and I would step in and I'd figure out a way to solve it. My group was falling apart. I'd fly in and I'd save the day. I didn't keep the group going. I'd wait till it was in crisis. And then I'd come in on the white horse. Let's do a meeting. You know what I mean? I'll fly in.
There's no hair, baby.
Take him to the next level. Crisis averted. Meetings are back on track. Now let me ignore that group for the next 90 days. So understand, you can go that next little distance. When you study for the test in order to survive, you can keep studying and learn and get better than the competition. Now you still might fade between survival and success, but I'll tell you, it's a much better way to live. Much better way to live. There's not as many, nasty people in that group. This group's filled with blamers. Not my fault, 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 not my fault. It was the media. Not my fault, not my fault, not my fault. These people say, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take charge. While other people fade, guess what? You know what I got excited about when I finally figured this out? If other people in other organizations want to quit, let them quit. Because it's more for me. I'm serious. You want to go home? Go home. Because next year, I'm going to have a bigger percentage of this room, and I'm going to be like one of the big shareholders in this organization. I'm going to have a huge percentage of the future of this company. Fine. Be that way. I just wanted to outlast them all. Just like, fine, another one down. I wouldn't say, oh, boo-hoo, that leader left. I would say, fine, more for me. Serious. It's a different way to think, right? Versus, oh, did you hear? So-and-so went to blank and blank company. Fine. Wonderful. I'm not worried about it. Why did they go? I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to do what I need to do right now, right here. And guess what? If you're not with me, I'm going to find somebody who is, and I'm going to go. But listen, this is driven by your own vision. It's not driven by some external penalty. Most people live in a world that they only respond when there's an external penalty. They only buy flowers when they're in trouble. Now there's another level. One more level. Significance. And it's the same distance between survival and success. I was here for a while. That was better, but it wasn't where I was supposed to be. And significance is driven by your purpose, by your reason why you're on this earth, by your mission. If you see the greatest entrepreneurs that you've ever admired, they're driven by this, not by this. They went past success a long time ago. It's about significance now. It's about what can I do to make the world better? What can I do to improve people's lives? And if this pull gets stronger for you than this pull, you're on your way. You can do something amazing if you'll do that. That make sense?
Yes.
All right. This helped me. Getting out of here was like getting out of jail. Getting here was like, oh, this feels a little bit better, but there's something not quite right. Getting here was like coming home. It's the best feeling in the world. And I would wish it for all of you. What I'm really talking about here is making a decision. The biggest wish I could have for any of you is that you make a decision that I'm going to the top. They're going to see me waving from the top or dead on the side of the road. I'm not coming back. Once that decision happens, then you become unstoppable. Until that decision happens, you are stoppable. Once you make that decision, you don't need to worry about the person who hasn't made the decision. They complain about their upline. Person who hasn't made the decision, they complain about the meeting. The person who hasn't made a decision, they complain about the lack of training. You know, there's no training in the area. How could you expect me to succeed? The person who's made a decision does not even acknowledge any of those things. They just say, I'll take care of it. I got it. There's no training. I'll go get trained. I'll bring it back. I'll pass it on. There's no upline support. Fine. So be it. I'll be the best upline I can be right now. I'll pretend I'm front lines in the company, and I'm going to provide support from this point forward. I'm going to teach other people how to do the same thing. The media comes up and say, hey, media's going to do what media's going to do. Who cares? They're irrelevant. Irrelevant? I can speak English. They don't matter. They don't. You're worried about a newspaper article? When was the last time you bought a newspaper? Kidding me? It's over. It's over.
So true.
It's over. Who cares? Who cares? The person who's made a decision says, fine. I'll use it as fuel. Let's go. Everybody else goes, good. That's not a person who's made a decision. When you make a decision, you become unstoppable. If this is a river, imagine this is a river. This is the banks of the river. There's water flowing down this river. And in the river, there's a huge rock rising out of the water. The water's flowing down the river. When it comes to the rock, what happens?
Goes around it.
Does the rock say, oh, excuse me, am I in your way? I'll move. The rock doesn't move, does it?
No.
The rock is. The rock says, I'm here. Water, river, you need to deal with it. Well, what do you mean? Aren't you being unreasonable? Aren't you being arrogant? Aren't you being just kind of not compassionate? Rock doesn't worry about compassion. Water comes, and guess what? Water has to go over, water has to go around. That's what the water has to do. That's water's role. And I believe in network marketing, and in this room, there are water people and there are river people. Water people, river people, and there are rocks. If you decide to be a rock, your whole world will change. If you're the river, you're moved around by every single thing, every emotion, every distraction, everything. And people don't follow river people. They follow rocks. I'm serious. Once you decide to be the rock, and you just plant yourself. I'm right here and I'm not moving, and guess what? I'm not going to be quiet about network marketing. I'm going to be loud about network marketing. I'm not going to be quiet about being loud. I'm not going to apologize for my existence. I'm right here, river. Bring it.
Yeah. Bring it.
River people need their upline. River people need a smooth road. River people need all distractions eliminated. River people need somebody to hold their hand. River people need someone to come along and encourage them. Rock people don't need that. Once the rock's made a decision, guess what? You plant yourself, all the other people will start to climb up onto that rock and borrow your confidence until they're ready to settle into the sand themselves. So, are you prepared to be the river or the rock? If you'll make that decision, I promise you, this business gets pretty easy. Until you make that decision, this business stays hard. Until you become unmovable, uncompromising, unstoppable, this business stays hard. Once you become immovable, business gets pretty easy. You still have challenging days. This is an emotional business, but it gets pretty easy. All right. I'm going to do something. Can we bring the lights up? Is this as high as they go? Let me know. I want to do something. I want to get real practical now for the last 90 minutes. Is that okay? Yeah. I'm going to teach you 3 things that you can do to have an explosive summer. 3 things that you can do to rank advance 2, 3, 4, 5 times this summer. How many people are interested in rank advancing this summer? Okay. First thing, there's 3 main things that I'm going to teach you this afternoon that'll get you the biggest results. Guess what I study? I study what are the few things that work the best. Because you can try and learn a million things in our business. But what gets you the biggest result in the shortest period of time? People say we don't have a boss in network marketing. I disagree. I think your boss is your calendar. And if I'm coaching you, guess what the number one thing I'm going to ask you on a daily basis? Show me your calendar. I don't want to hear the stories. I don't want to hear all the big plans. Show me your calendar. How many appointments you have? How many calls you have set up? How many meetings how many presentations do you have scheduled for this week? How many times are you getting somebody started? What are you doing? Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. And if you don't, your calendar, most of you in this room, if you're honest, your calendar for the next 30 days looks something like this one. Yep. Even the leaders up front. You might have, 1 or 2. Well, no, that's not true. I do my Monday call, I do my Thursday breakfast, and I do my Saturday training, and I do that every week. Is that $1 million calendar? No. If your calendar is empty, you should be scared to death. You should be petrified. Our job, hear me, our job is to fill our calendar and teach other people how to do the same thing. That's our job. PK said something yesterday that our business is about conversations. And it reminded me, a good friend of mine, his name's Sam Georges, he's been Tony Robbins' CEO for 22 years. He has a very unique mindset about business. He said, here's what business is. Business is conversations. And if there are conversations happening about your business, then your business is alive. If the conversations stop happening, your business is dead. So your job as a business person is to create more conversations happening about your business and improve the quality of those conversations. So that's something that we as leaders can do. We as leaders can create more conversations, which is, let me show you our business. Let me share this product with you. Let me show you our business. Let me share this product with you. Let me show you our business. Let me share this product with you. And fill up your calendar. Hear me? Filling up your calendar. That's the key to this whole thing. Now, there's been something that's happened in just the last year. It's been the biggest breakthrough in growing a network marketing business in the last 10 years, I think. You know what it is? The phone has lost its effectiveness when it comes to making appointments. Calling someone on the phone and saying, hey, I want to share something with you, has lost its effectiveness. Let me ask you a question. If you called 100 people today, how many of them on the phone, how many of them are going to answer the phone?
Maybe.
5? 10. It's not a big number. We're irritated by the phone now, all of us. Remember when ringtones were a big deal? When was the last time you heard one of those? Everybody's on silent. Nobody's answering the phone. No one cares. It started with the kids. Parents would call, the kids would look at it. They're not doing anything. You're just sitting there, let it go to voicemail, and then they text them, "What'd you need?" "Hey, sorry I missed you. What's up?" And guess what they did? They taught us parents to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I look at my phone. My mom called. "Hi, Mom. Love you. What's up?" We don't want to talk in the phone anymore. We're texting. That's what we do. That's how we communicate. And it's efficient. It allows us to do lots of different things. So I spent a career teaching people how to get people on the phone and teach them how to get in front of a person to share the product or to share the opportunity. And those skills are still as valid today as they ever were, because you're going to get people on the phone at some point and you need to learn how to do that. I had 8 steps, all this elaborate stuff, but let me tell you what has worked better than that. Text message. One text message sending out to a prospect will book more appointments on average than 10 phone calls. So let me ask you a question. If you sent a quick text to somebody and said, "Hey, what's up?" and you texted that to them, how many are going to respond to that?
A lot.
Almost all. If you don't respond to a text message, you're kind of a jerk. You know? If it's just lingering out there, if they ask a question, like my kids, you know, they don't answer my text, I'm like, "Hey." Then I start with the question marks, then question mark, send, send, question mark, send. Okay, let's do this.
He just called him out.
Right? So here's the thing. If you sent out, so just studying results, we send out we do 100 calls. How many are going to answer? Let's just say 10. 10 answers. How effective is it to book appointments by leaving messages on somebody's voicemail?
No.
Not effective, so we won't even talk about that. Now we have 100 text messages. How many are going to answer?
Probably.
Let's say 90. What do you think is going to be more effective in booking an appointment?
90%.
Just based upon this. So here's what we're going to do right now. I want everybody to pull your phone out. Okay? Pull your phone out. And I'm going to teach you right now how to fill your calendar.
I have like 60.
Before you do it, before you do it, I'm going to give you a little bit of training, but what I want you to do is I want you to text 10 people. We're going to take the time for every single person in this room to text 10 prospects. 10 prospects. And all you're going to do is you're going to ask them, "Hey, what's your schedule next week?" Or coffee, question mark, or what's your plan, what's your schedule, let's get together. Okay? I'm coming back from Phoenix, I'd love to see you. Let's connect. Those of you in Europe, you're going to be waking people up, that's okay. So I want you to send 10 text messages to people and just say, "Hey," and just try to set up an appointment. That's all you're going to try and do. Set up a time to get together with somebody. Fair enough?
You can go.
Okay, so if you want to start. Pick 10. If they're a customer and they're not a distributor, that counts, that's fine. If there's somebody who said no before, that's fine. Get together, have coffee with them, sit down, have a conversation, talk with them, get caught up on their lives. Some of you, if you've been around for a while, you're going to get some of this. "I'd love to meet with you so long as it's not about Vemma." Right? And if you get that, what is that a measure of? Something in the first time you came to them made them feel uncomfortable. Okay? So this is an opportunity to build back rapport, and don't not meet with them. Meet with them. Just say, hey, forget about business. Let's just get together. Let's just get caught up. Let's get face to face. Have a conversation anyway. Okay? So still, because here's the thing. If you have a conversation with 100 people face to face, good things are going to happen, even if you don't even have an intention to bring up stuff about business. You find out about their life, they find out about yours. Friends know what other friends are doing. They're going to ask you questions. Pretty soon you're down the road. Pull out some product, let them try it. You have a conversation, they can ask you what's going on in your life if you ask them what's going on in theirs. Good things will happen. What is this doing? It's creating conversations. So, but here's the thing I want you to understand. There's 3,000 people in this room. 3,000 times 10 is how much? 30,000. 30,000 text messages are going to go out in the next 5 minutes. If you'll do it, the rest of you sitting here, river people. Come on. I know. But 30,000. Now let me tell you how many appointments you're going to get out of this. Within 20 minutes, this room will have about 5,000 to 8,000 appointments booked. Okay? By the end of today, you'll have about 15,000 appointments booked. Literally about 5 out of 10 on average, if you take this whole room. 5 out of 10 on average. How many people have an appointment so far? Raise your hand, please. Okay? Good, good, good. So here's, if there is a tool, let me tell you what I would do. If I have a team, let's say these front 2 rows are my team, and they're in a local market, and I get everybody together on a Saturday or something, and say, guess what? We're going to take, and we're going to fill the calendar for the month of July. Together. Let's have a competition. Let's split these 20 people into groups of 5. Okay? You're on one team, you're on one team, you're on one team. And I'm going to have whoever schedules the most appointments over the course of the next 2 hours via text, they're going to get a prize. Last place team, they got to do push-ups. Okay? You create some little fun thing. And pretty soon now we got paper up on the walls, and we got contests going on, and people are doing it. I got one, and I got one. What'd you send? Or what was that message? That message is really working. How did it work? Pretty soon we got a little camaraderie. We got some fun going on. And I'll teach a person inside of a little group like that, maybe 50 text messages each that they would send. Which, what would happen over the course of a couple hours? Every one of them would have 25 appointments scheduled for the next 2 or 3 weeks. They'd be busier than they've been for a long time in just a couple hours. I taught this concept to a young man in the United Kingdom. He works for a company called Utility Warehouse in the United Kingdom. And he went nuts. Here's what he did. He literally went into his organization. He has a very large organization. He went in on a Tuesday night. He'd go into this little group, and he'd have 30 or 40 people. They'd fill the calendar. He'd go to the next town. He'd get 30 or 40 people. He'd fill their calendar. He'd go to the next town, and that's all he did was these little condensed bursts. Because he knew that if he got the appointment scheduled, now the fear is taken away because everybody just has to show up for the appointments that they've already booked. You don't have to convince them to stay into action. Okay? So if once a month this is all you did, you've got figured out a way to get to every single person in your group and have them send out 50 text messages once a month, the beginning of every month. Do it at the beginning. From now, fill the month of July. August 1st, fill the month of August. September, fill September. October, fill October. With whoever's on your team. It's the #1 activity-driven, result-driven tool I can share with you right now is to follow this approach. #1. If I'm building a larger organization, once a month, write this word down, rhythm. There's a rhythm to our business, right? A rhythm. You guys have a weekly rhythm and a monthly rhythm and an annual rhythm. But this is a monthly thing that if you do this once a month, it's the most efficient use of your time. There isn't a more efficient use of your time. Once a month, get everybody on the team, fill the calendar, send them on their way. The next month, get them together, even if you got to do it by Skype or Google Hangout, or get everybody together in different living rooms around the world or around the country, get them together, have a competition, fill the calendar. Next month, next month, next month. You do this for 12 consecutive months with whatever team you've got. Like, you young man, how many people do you have on your team? Approximately. About 15. Perfect. What's your name? Logan, how you doing? So Logan's got 15 people on the team. How many of those 15 could you convince to send 50 text messages in the next 7 days? All 15? They're all engaged, they're all part of the activity? Okay, all 15. Now follow what this happened. Do the math on this. 50 text messages times 15 is how much? 750 text messages would go out just on his team. This is his only focus. Okay? 750 text messages. Based upon what I've seen around the world, you're going to have somewhere like 375 actual appointments in the next 30 days. With your 15 people, 375 appointments in the next 30, 45 days. Okay? If you do a presentation with 10 people in Vemma, 10 prospects, how many are going to join your business? 1 out of 10? 2 out of 10? Oh, up here, this group will say 4 or 5, but let's just say 1. 1's fine. 1 out of 10. He has 375 appointments. So what's 1 out of 10 of that? 37? 37 new people on your team in the next 30 days. Would that be a good number? Okay, so you've gone from 15 now. You add 37 to it. You now have 50 what? 52? Call it 50 people on your team in 1 month. Now, could you convince those 50, all of them, to do it for the month of August? Hopefully, let's say you could. Let's say it's just 40. Or 30. Let's say 30. 30 people do it. 30 times 50 is how much? 1,500. 750 people see the presentation. 75 join this. That's just 1 out of 10. We're talking about numbers. Activity, conversations. Right? You just had 750 conversations created in your group. 75 of them said yes to your business. Now you've gone from 50 to 125. In 2 months, your life can totally be different. You don't have to be sitting at 17, and then 19, and then hopefully by December I get to 25. You can walk away from that thing and start going geometric. If you'll just do this one simple thing. So if you start with 5 or 15, or if you're just starting by yourself, you do 50 this month by yourself. 50 text messages is going to get you 25 appointments. You get part of those 25, you're going to bring in 2 or 3, and then convince those 2 or 3 to do it again next month. You got me? But here's the thing. Once a month, every month, for the next year, and your life is totally different. Okay? You got one question? I'm going to answer one.
I do, Eric. Inviting for home events.
Inviting for home events.
On text
Inviting
message.
for home events is fine. I don't care how you do it. Just get face-to-face with people. Phone calls are cheap. You know, face-to-face changes relationships. Get together with somebody, have coffee with them, get together after work, get together somewhere, have breakfast, invite them over to the house. However you want to do it. Doesn't matter. You guys have systems and tools and all that stuff to be able to share it. All I'm saying is, come up with a rhythm in your business to make sure the calendar is full. Your job, listen to me, your job is to know how many presentations are happening in your group on a monthly basis. How many? And you can know that number. And it doesn't even matter how big it is. If in the month of July here, let's say you have 100 conversations, 100 exposures happen in your group, that's fine. Just make sure in August that number's bigger. In September, the number's bigger after that. Here's what happens. The leader starts saying, well, I asked the question, how many exposures are happening on your team? The leader goes, I don't know. A lot, I guess. You need to know this number. If you're a publicly traded company, This would be a number that I would want to know whether I should buy or sell your stock. What's going on? How many conversations are happening inside the group? How many people have sent 10 text messages? How many people have sent 10? Okay? If you haven't sent 10, how many people will make a commitment to me and to you, yourself, forget me, to send 25 text messages in the next 48 hours? How many will agree to do that? All right, fantastic. If you'll do that, your schedule will be filled. And then it's your job, your focus, to know the number. There's some key numbers that you need to know. One number that you need to know is the number of exposures happening on your team per month. And if you bake that into your culture, you teach your leaders how to do the same thing. You track your group, you teach your leaders to track theirs, you figure out how many you're getting. You need to know this number every single month and track this number. This is the health of your business. It's the lifeblood of your business. If you don't know this number, it's an excellent chance that it's not a very big number. It just is. And this is something that's trackable. All right, number 2. How many are familiar with this? Yeah. Now, I need to have a debate with you. Now, the debate is this. This says 1 month, do the silver in 1 month, basically, and do gold in 2 months, yeah?
Yeah.
Kind of on average. If you really made a decision, could you go gold in a month?
Yes.
You really decide. I think this is the position right here that you need to focus on in your group. This will determine the health of your group. Someone kind of arrives into Vemma when they get to gold. Am I right? Up until then, they're kind of on probation. They're kind of figuring it out. But once you get a goal, then you have something to work with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you focus on that, the second most important number that you must track and you must know in order to really guide your organization to high levels of success is how many goals are being promoted per month on your team. You need a number. How many goals? I would ask that you come up with ways to be able to figure that out exactly. Where you ask your leaders to report up to you. Where you figure out exactly how many goals were promoted in your group in June. How many happened in May? Go backwards. In April. What's the trend? For most of you leaders, guess what? The trend will look something like this. For most of the leaders up here, the trend will look like this. If you're not in growth mode, you're in management mode, the trend will look like that. Oh, how many goals this month? 12. Well, how many the month before? 14. How many the month before that? 8. Most of you don't even know. You do not even know how many goals were promoted out in your group. Okay? I'm just asking you to know from now moving forward, because this is the health of your organization. Again, if you're a publicly traded company and I could buy shares of stock in you, what I would want to know, how many goals are being promoted out in your team and what's the trend? Is it going this way? Is it going this way? Is it flat? What is it? Now, if you'll pay attention to this number, you can impact it dramatically. And here's a concept that I want you to get solid on. Taking inventory. Taking inventory. See, some people, how many people are frustrated by your lack of duplication in your group? Okay? Frustrating, right? Trying to figure out this magical thing of duplication. You hear about it. All these people up front, they just have magical duplication. They have groups that grow around the world like a weed. You know? You can't get your group to grow out of your neighborhood. I get it. I've been there. Frustrating trying to figure out this duplication concept. But the one thing that I want to share with you is most people put too much emphasis on their personal enrolled people, and they don't know the role of the personally enrolled person. Here's what I mean by that. The person that you personally enroll, they're not the destination. Most people bring somebody in and they're just like, I'm going to make you successful if it kills me. Right? And it practically kills them. Come on, they're dragging them across the finish line. Come on. They're saying, come on, step into your greatness. Come on, become the leader you're supposed to be. Come on, do something. You have a pulse. Can you fog a mirror? And if they don't do something, they go, well, I guess I gotta go find another one. They dump that one like roadkill by the side of the road, and they go get another one. Drag them up, say, okay, you're going to be the one. And that's not the point. Think of a person that you bring in, not as a destination, but as a doorway. They are a doorway to a universe that you can't touch. They are not the destination. As soon as you bring somebody in, as quickly as possible, you need to have them connect you with their contacts. Connect you. So no, I'm supposed to make them do the presentation. Yes, eventually. But if they're not going to do it, at least have them introduce you to their world. Introduce you quickly. Dig. Find somebody. Dig. Find somebody. You're taking inventory inside of a person's network to be able to see if there's anything in there. So stop putting so much emphasis on your personally enrolled people and expecting them to be superstars. Most superstars, top leaders will tell you, are 3, 4, 5 levels deep. 3, 4, 5 generations deep. They're rarely your personally sponsored. It happens on occasion, but it's rare. It's usually 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 levels deep. All of a sudden the leader shows up and you go to work with that person. So in taking inventory, here's what I mean when I'm talking about building. Here's what I want you to do. Build a gold factory. You're going to build a gold factory inside of your organization. How do you build a gold factory? You build a gold factory by taking inventory. So you go to your existing group and you say, group, who wants to go gold in the month of July? I'm putting together a program. I'm going to work with those people personally. We've got a training program, accountability program. We've got some contests. We've got some incentives. Who's ready to make gold happen in the month of July? Raise your hand. So you go to that whole group and say, okay. They raise their hand, me. You get a percentage. And you talk to the person, they say, well, Amy, are you ready? She goes, July's not a good month for me. That's fine. Sorry, if I call you in August? Sure. All right. And move on to David. David, you ready to go? No, it's not a good time for me. Fantastic. No problem. Don't give up on them, but don't spend time trying to convince them. You'll have enough people in your group that says, yes, I did get involved in this business to try and do something special. I haven't done it yet. I've been looking for an opportunity to get in. If you say you're going to work with me, even if you're 3, 4, 5 levels up, great, I'm in. And you get a little group of people that says yes, and they're going for gold, and you put all of your passion into that group. You give them the recognition. You give them a little peer pressure. You give them some encouragement. You take a list of the people who say they're going in July and you publish it to the whole world. Said, here's the list of people who said they're committed to going in the month of July. Congratulate them if you see them. Here's their email. Send them a little wishes of encouragement as we start the month. Start off with a little peer pressure. Right? And then as soon as one makes it, hey, make a big deal about it. Hey, this person made it. Make a video. How did you do it? Well, I just did this, and I did this, and I did this, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for the training. Anybody who's thinking about doing this person will help you. Say yes if they ask. Then put that up on YouTube. Throw that up on Facebook. Let the whole world see that you're building a gold factory. This team is about kicking out golds. Yeah, silver, wonderful, fantastic. Bronze, fantastic. But we're really focused on gold. We want to help you go gold. And we want to teach you how to do the same with everybody else. You don't need to focus on any other rank in this whole business, do you? You just help people get gold, teach them how to do the same thing, you're done, aren't you? So let's say, do you have any idea, staffers, how many golds you had promoted in the month of June, let's say? About 5 in the month of June. Now, how big is your group, approximately? 2,800 people. So if you went to those 2,800 people, anywhere, let's just put it in your pay line, right? 2,800 people, how many are in your pay line, approximately? 900. So you go to those 900, say, who wants to go gold in the month of July? We're putting together a program. You're going to get our attention. We're going to be working every day. We're going to make it happen. Of those whole 900, you might have to split it up, and you can both make phone calls for 3 days in order to be able to take inventory and figure out who's going to do it. How many of those 900 would say, yes, July's my month? Do you think? 50. 50 people say yes. Last month you had 5 go gold. If you have 50 that you work with, how many do you think you can get to go in the month of July? 15. 15. You went from 5 to 15, that's 300% growth. And if you told the story of those 15 people to the other 900, how many are you going to say yes for August? And then you get 40 that happen in the month of August, and then you take their stories and you tell them the rest of the whole team how many want to go in September. And you do this once a month. Take inventory, work with the willing. Take inventory, work with the willing. And you know what you're going to get 6 months from now? You're going to be calling that same old person that said no 5 times, and they're going to say, thanks for not giving up on me. I'm finally ready. Let's do it. I've got some unfinished business inside this company. Let's go make it happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you start. You hear me? If I was working with you, the whole game plan would be how can we fill the calendar and how many goals can we get promoted out? That's our mission. Can we get one promoted out today? What can we do? Get on some 3-way calls, do some meetings, do some, some Google Hangouts, do a Skype presentation, whatever we got to do. Let's get that one done. Okay, that one's done. Who's next? Let's get that one out. Okay, who's next? Let's get that one out. Okay, who's next? Because the goals are the people you can work with, right? Now, those of you who aren't gold yet, and you're waiting for somebody upline to come and rescue you, rescue yourself. Just decide that you're going to go gold between now and the end of July. Get it over with. Be done with it. How many people who are not yet gold, raise your hand? How many people will do whatever it takes, within reason? How many people will make the commitment to go gold between now and the end of July? Stand up. All right, go ahead and sit down. Here's the thing. Is there anything that will stop you from going gold between now and the end of July? What do you have to do to go gold? Fill your calendar, right? Have the conversations. That's all you've got to do between now and then. Focus on 2 and 2 and 2, right? It's really simple. You can't get more simple than that. If you don't go gold between now and the end of July, you decided not to. There's nothing structurally that would stop you. You made a decision not to do it. You chose to play small if you don't go gold between now and the end of July. And you're not small people. You're strong beyond your imagination. So make the commitment not only to say yes in this room, but when nobody's watching, nobody's helping, nobody's supporting, nobody's listening to you, your friends are rolling their eyes, people are saying let's go to the beach. I'll go to the beach when I go gold.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
They used to say that all the time, actually. Yeah, I did it last summer.
Building a gold factory. Every month. Track it.
Cool.
Every month. Figure out how many people are going, who's on track, who's going to make it happen. Don't discourage the people who fall short. They say, hey, we missed it last month, we'll make another run at it the next month. You don't have to worry about the other ranks. You don't have to worry about a single other rank. Just do this, teach other people how to do the same thing, teach them how to do the same thing, you go all the way to the top. You don't need to worry. For the next 10 years, all you have to do is focus on helping people get to this rank and teach them how to do the same thing. That's all you have to do. Got it? How many goals per month? If you'll do this for the next 12 consecutive months, at the beginning of every month, take inventory, find out who's ready to raise their hand. Yes, I'm ready to go gold. Spend all of your time, all of your energy with those people, and very little time with the people who did not raise their hand. You'll be super efficient with your time. How are you going to help them go gold? You're going to give them some training, some encouragement, some incentives, some things that hold some accountability, right? Recognition, everything you can think of. If this is really important to go from your 5 to 15, come up with a business plan that says, here's how I'm going to get at least 15. How are you going to do that? A business plan that would be strong enough that if I was an investor, I'd invest in you. Because I believe that you could do it, and maybe even more. Right? Another thing I want to throw at you is the concept of accountability. We've grown up in a world of accountability. And we come into network marketing and we don't have any. Accountability, brush your teeth or else, finish your vegetables or else. Accountability, study for the test or else. Accountability, drive the speed limit or else. Right? Show up to work on time or else. Do the minimum requirements at work or else. Right? There's been all this accountability built in. Then we join network marketing and it all flies out the window. If you were given a job paying $100,000 a year, salary, one of the requirements of the job is you have to go gold by the end of June. How many of you would go gold by the end of June? The rest of you wouldn't? For $100,000 a year. You wouldn't get two, really?
I'd be gold by the time I left this room.
For $100,000? We're trained that if that was the requirement, we'd do it. We join network marketing and we just fall off the face of the earth. If nobody's watching, if nobody's holding you accountable, if nobody's sitting there looking over your shoulder, we go, let's see what's on Netflix. And we check out. We spend a whole week talking to each other about how excited we are. We don't talk to a single prospect. Oh, I'm excited about people. No, you don't understand. I'm even more excited than you. Woohoo! YPR. Let's go, baby. In the meantime, the prospect hasn't heard that story. You're just telling each other how excited you are. It's all avoidance behavior.
Oh my gosh, that's so
right? So accountability.
He said YPR.
Now I want to give you something that not many of you will do, but if you'll do it, again, how many people want to go gold by the end of July? Committed. All right. Stick.com with 2 Ks. Stick.com. All right. I want to help you do it. Give me somebody over here that wants to go gold.
Stand up, man. Stand up.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Hi, Jeff.
What you doing?
Cameron High. All right. I want to help Jeff go gold between now and the end of July. Is there any, do you have any doubts that you might go gold? Maybe a little bit of doubt? So good, okay. I want to help you get through that. And is this your Rob? Hi, Leanne. Leanne and Jeff. What's your business outside of Vemma? Computer program. All right. Do you have an organization that you hate? Any organization in the world that you just cannot stand? They turn your stomach. Anything? Like Monsanto or huh? Would that be a good one? All right, let's use Monsanto. If you go to stick.com, you can put in there, I have to do, you put your credit card in, okay? And let's say you put in a commitment of $5,000. Okay? They have referees that will judge this. You put it in there. And if you don't hit goals by the end of July, they'll send your $5,000 to Monsanto.
That's what's
That's who's sticking.
If you hit it, nothing happens. You can keep your money.
Wow.
You want a way to go gold? That's the way to go gold. Here's another thing you can do. Some of you young kids, you can figure out $500. Just put $500 in there and give it to your ex.
That's heavy. Man.
Motivation, baby. Heck no, that is not happening. That's what I want. I want you to get to the place where you said, this is not happening. There's no way that check is going to that son of a... It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. If you hate the NRA, send it to the NRA. You know, if you hate the IRS, give them some extra money. Stick.com, I'm telling you. If you're serious, just go in there. And don't give it to some cause that you love. That's cheating. Because if you fail, well, at least I gave it to, you know, Salvation Army. Ooh, on you. I want it painful. I want it nasty. I want it hard. I want it unthinkable. Unthinkable. Yeah. Because if you'll do that, every single one of you go gold. If every one of you has a trigger inside of you, raise your hand if you want to go gold. There's a trigger inside of you that will force you to do it. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Every one of you will do it. If you create the reasons, crisis, remember? Crisis, that you'll manufacture on your own in order for you to do what you should do in the first place. Here's another thing you can do, just for fun. Go to stick.com, get a group of people that all want to go gold, have them all put $1,000 in. Whoever goes, splits up the money. Whoever doesn't go, funds the other people.
Dang.
Accountability, man. Throw in $100, whatever. Come up with some ways to hold yourself accountable. Back to this same conversation. Where is it? This conversation. What did Stick.com do? It manufactured a crisis for you. It's unthinkable. I can't send that check to Planned Parenthood. I can't send it to the NRA. I can't send it, you know what I mean, to Satan's worshipers. Can't do it. Unthinkable. Perfect. I like unthinkable. Come up with something. Go on there and put your money up. Put your credit card in there. Put your money up, and they'll hold you accountable. They have little referees that'll make sure, did you go, did you not? Send us the proof. Let us take a look at it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
The nuclear option has not been activated. I love this stuff, man. These are just tools, right? They're just tools. Most of you want somebody, you want, you know, Brad Alcazar to move into your house, and say, okay, work with you every single day and help you with your calls and do all that stuff. That's what most of you are hoping for. Give me an upline that will just sit there with me until I get it done. Well, what if they don't show up? What if they're too busy? What if that doesn't happen? You can take charge of your own self, but you've got to get out of this. You have to get out of this mode and past survival and into success. And that comes from you coming up with your own reasons. And if you don't have a strong enough positive reason for your meaning and your purpose and your why, if you don't have a strong enough reason, manufacture them. Create negative ones. If negative is going to move you more than positive does, I'm always amazed by people who will they'll go insane to win a cruise. They'll just go bananas to win a cruise. If they did the same activity to win the cruise, they could go on 5 cruises on their own. But sometimes people are just driven by an external thing with a deadline in order to be able to take action. So if there isn't one created by the company, then you need to manufacture one on your own. Okay? Who'll go on stick.com and do something? Anybody?
I don't know.
You liars. It's scary. You go on there and your finger hovers over the button. Oh boy, I'm not so sure. You need to have like a party to make sure that you do it, because make sure somebody pushes your finger now on the button. Okay? Point of no return. There's no certificate anymore. Oh my gosh, that check cannot go to that person. You can't send another check to my ex. Will not happen. Okay. So first, exposures. Creating a rhythm in your business. Filling the calendar. Creating conversation. Filling the calendar. Creating conversations. Conversations will create results. Those results will start turning into rank advancements. Those rank advancements are going to turn into a successful and momentum-filled business. So exposure is number 1. Number 2 is creating a goal factory on a monthly basis. How many? How many? How many? How many? And I don't care how big your organization is. Even you guys' organization up here, big organization. Find a way to bake this into the culture. Goal, 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 goal. This is what we do. Either you're going gold, or we'll talk to you next month. We're working with the people going gold. We're working with the people going gold. Next, 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 next. Recognize the crap out of it. Go crazy with it. Right? If this is your focus and this is part of the culture, things get really easy. If it's all spread out everywhere and a million different things going on, it stays challenging. There's different techniques that you can use in order to go gold. I'm not even talking to you about that. I'm just talking about the focus. Focus, number 1, is how many exposures. Focus, number 2, how many goals. Got it? Concept number 3. If I was building a business with you, these would be the 3 things that I would focus on, and I literally would not be focused on anything else. How many exposures? How many people go gold? Third one, taking us to convention. That would be my entire focus. The way I built the business and the way the top earners in this profession, the best in this profession, all roads lead to convention. All roads lead to convention. It is an absolute laser focus. They do not think about anything else. They talk about it all the time. They don't relent. They don't slow down. They don't take their eye off the prize. They just figure out exactly how many people they're going to have at that next event. Now, here's the formula that you need to understand when it comes to conventions. Here's why this is so important. This needs to be tracked on a monthly basis. Are you guys allowing people to register before you leave here for next year? The dates are announced? The people can't register? All right. A suggestion to our ownership group. Not now, not today. But here's what I will tell you. When I did the last GoPro Recruiting Mastery, we had about 7,000 people in attendance. And we announced at that event the next year's event. Tony Robbins coming in, room for 8,000 people. People can get a 5-pack of tickets. We sold out that event for the following year before we left. Within 4 or 5 days of that event. 11 months in advance, sold out. And here's what I would tell you. We might not be prepared for it today, but if everybody in this room could get a discounted ticket for a year from now for 5 tickets, I would recommend doing that at some point, because I think you could take this room and turn it into 15,000 with no problem over the course of the next 12 months. So if you did that at every regional event between now and then, and you have the form so people could order a 5-pack of tickets at every regional event between now and then, every international event between now and then, there's no reason in the world you can't have 15,000 people this next a year from today. None, zero, end of story, okay? Now, here's why this is so important. Why this is so important is I'm in love with formulas that work. I look for formulas that work, okay? And one of the formulas that work in our business worldwide is you will earn approximately $1,000 per year per person attending convention. $1,000 per year per person. So if you have 50 people here right now, you should be tracking at about $4,000 a month, somewhere in that neighborhood. If you have 50 people at this event. If you're not there, give it a little bit of time, you'll be there, okay? Now, that works in the positive and in the negative. If you're just rising up, you have 50 and you're not quite at 50,000 a year, it'll get there. But if you're making 200 or 150 and you have 50 people here, it'll pull it down too. Just know that. This number really holds true up to about $1 million a year, and then it starts to fall apart a bit. But up to about $1 million a year, if you have 1,000 people in the room, you're making $1 million a year in your team. Okay? So if you want the easiest formula in the world to make $100,000.
Get 100 people.
Okay? Easiest formula in the world. Make $100,000 in this company. Put 100 people in the room a year from today. All roads lead to convention. Find a way to do it. What was your name again, young man? Logan. Logan. So Logan, how many people in your team are here? Out of your 15?
I'd say like 8.
8. So you're making about 8,000 a year. You're probably making about 500 a month, something like that. 600 a month. Okay? So find a way, however you got to do it with those 8, have everybody on the 8 set a goal for a bigger number. Okay? So I'll give you an example of how I do this. So what would be a good goal for you for a year from today, Logan, to have at the next convention? Number of people. 20. Okay? Now, every time I get a number, I immediately destroy that number. Because 20 is not the right number for you. Let me tell you why. Who's in the Logan's group? Stand up, please. Over here, there's a couple. You? Okay. All right, we got these, right? So, let me ask you this. How many people are you going to personally sponsor between now and the next year? 12 months. Approximately. 50 people. Out of those 50, how many, if you make it a priority, how many of those 50 can you convince to come here a year from today? The day they join, you gotta know this is the most important thing. All 50. So what happened to this 20 number? So let's say it's not 50. Let's say it's 30. Okay? 30 people. That's you. Who is the other ones? You? Okay. Do you have any people on your team now? Wonderful. But do you have people at home on the team?
Yes.
How many?
I have 5.
5. You have 5 people on the team. Now, how many people are you going to sponsor between now and next year? 50, 30, 40, something?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how many of those, if you make it a priority to be here, can be here a year from today? Okay, so that's another, let's say 30. You got 30 plus 30. We have 2 over here, right? How many people you have on your team? 230. Okay, 230 people. How many do you have here in the room? 20. Okay, so if you set a goal, how many people do you need to have in order to be able to get back to you? How many? What's a goal? What if you have 230? Why is it 100? Why are you setting a goal to bring 100 packs next year? If you have 230, you just got to make it a priority, right? You just got to decide this is important. You got to let them know every single day. You got to come up with ways to communicate the importance of what this is every day, right? When a new person joins, you got to sit down and have a conversation with them. Let me get you registered for convention immediately. Let me help you get 5 tickets, even though you haven't signed up a single person yet. Because you're going to sign 5, the event's going to sell out, and you want to make sure that you have at least 5 tickets for the event. So if you're going to sign up 50 people, and every one of those 50 people gets a 5-pack of tickets as part of their whole process. Right here with Logan, that's 250, isn't it? Plus the 50. See what I'm saying? 100 is kind of like embarrassing, based upon what you're capable of the year today. If you make this a priority, if you make this absolutely focused, every person that joins the business, you gotta have a conversation that says, the most important thing is we gotta get you booked for this convention. Let's get you booked, let's get your airfare done. You don't have airfare, let's figure out a way for you to earn the airfare between now and then. Let's get out there, we'll earn it, buy the ticket. Let's get you a hotel. If you can't afford a hotel, we'll sleep 8 guys together over here and 8 girls together over there. I've done that. I slept 12 people in a hotel room, okay? It is awful. I slept in a bathtub because we had snorers. And that's awful for a whole bunch of other reasons. You gotta put the bathroom in the middle of the night. It's just bad. Shower curtains full. Leave me alone. Turn the fan on. We duct taped the mini bar shut so we wouldn't go broke. We went to the grocery store and bought local bread and made sandwiches because we couldn't afford the expensive stuff at the convention center. Find a way. If they can't afford the airfare, get everybody in a van and drive them in a van. You know, get a bus, get 50 people in a bus, pay a few bucks, and drive 12 hours in a bus and learn together. Right? Find a way. If you're really getting paid $1,000 per person, and you want to make $100,000 a year, that's your mission for the next 12 months. You do nothing but that. Get them booked, get it solid, get it reserved, get them in, get it done. Because the convention next year is going to sell out. From some of the people in this room that decide to make this a priority. So you don't want to be on the outside looking. The best in this profession, our companies are sold out 6 to 8 months in advance. You guys by next year, I think, will be on that track if you make it a priority. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so 20, put that one in your rearview mirror. 20 is nothing. 20 is zero, it's nothing. 8, fantastic, wonderful. Next year, if you decide you really make this your passion, you do nothing else, you can have 200. That's $200,000 a year, man. Holy 22, $200,000 a year. What would you do with $200,000 a year? Pretty cool, right? You're like the
Can't even
man.
imagine. Can't even imagine nothing like
It'd be fun.
that.
It'd be fun. Tickets are on sale. VemmaConvention.com. 150 for one. 10 pack is $1,000. Listen to me. VemmaConvention.com. Listen to me.
They just did that.
I want to ask you to make a commitment
It's a
today.
phone call away.
A serious, no joke commitment. If you're serious about this business, I want every single one of you, at minimum, to get a 10-pack of tickets. And you may go, what do we got? I have to figure out $1,000. That's a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. You go home, you sell those tickets back to the people who are on your team that should be here right now. You immediately pass it right to them, it's $100 for you, you got a discount, it's nothing.
They usually have it.
But hear me, if this room, everybody in this room will get a 10-pack, it's a 30,000 person convention a year today. That's leverage. Logan, you and everybody that's on your group. Who's in Logan's group again? I didn't talk to you, young lady. Hi. I need you to get 10 tickets. And I need you to get 10, and you to get 10, and you to get 10. At least these 4. That's 40. Okay, we're on our way. Because if you get 10, your job for now, between now and then, is just match up those tickets with bodies. You can bring prospects. At $100, you can bring prospects to this convention and blow their minds. Well, how would you like to have a prospect sitting through this convention this weekend? You think that would help their business? You think they'd say yes? So here's the question. Now again, before I ask this question, I want to show you 2 things. Yeah. They have to call in for the 10?
Yeah, there's an error code.
Yep. They call the office on Monday. Call customer service on Monday to get the 10-pack. Now before I give you the challenge, I want you to look at this for a second. And I just want you to decide where you want to be. I want you to think about where your business is and where it should be. And are you tired of sitting in crisis and survival mode, and are you ready to break out?
Yes.
We'll see in just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.
And then I want you to look at this as far as the rock and the river. River people will say, $1,000, that's a lot. Rock people will say, no problem. Not only am I going to do it, I'm going to make it a priority with every person on my team. There isn't a doubt in my mind that you can't recruit enough people. If you have nobody in your team between now and a year from now, in order to be able to match those tickets up with bodies and get that return on your investment. And if you put 10 people in here, that's $10,000 you will earn. You will earn it from that process of putting them into the seats. If you have 10 people on your team, each get a 10-pack, that's 100 people. You're on track. You match those up with bodies. You're on track for $100,000 a year. This is no joke. It's real money. Real future. So the question is this. How many people between now, I'll give you till the end of the week, from now till Friday, between now and next Friday, stand up if you are prepared to get a 10-pack of tickets.
Next Friday. I'm gonna have to take a loan for that. I can do that.
You get a couple of people to buy in with you. Get up.
If you make that commitment, listen to me.
Alone is harder.
I want you to do something for you. I want you to do something for you.
You can find
And here's what it is.
go in with you. Get up.
Be a person of your word. When no one's looking, be a person of your word. Now, for you, not for anybody else. Get a 10-pack of tickets this week. Get committed this week. Convince your people in your organization to do the same this week. You know what would be the greatest, most amazing, powerful story? This 3,000 turned into 30,000 in just 12 months. And the 3,000 that made the decision were rank advanced so high, creating so much wealth, creating so much momentum and excitement, that they set a new standard in the network marketing profession. That's what you have. I'm excited about that.
It would suck though. It would suck though if the tickets sell out.
How many people wish you would have came out with a 5-pack instead?
It's not even a question for you. You have till Friday.
Now listen,
Last year we had to buy last year.
Really?
these 3 things is all I would focus on. for the year.
They give us a
No joke, it's all I would do. Now, in between, are you going to be promoting the products and educating people on the value of what you provide? Sure. In between, are you going to be becoming a better leader and learning how to do different things necessary to grow your business, developing your skills? Absolutely. But what are your intentions? Your intentions, I think, are best served, especially part-time. How many people are part-time and you're in this room? Part-time. For all part-time
That just
people,
changed.
you could get the most out of every hour by focusing on these three things. One, how many exposures per month are happening on your team? Send the text messages out. Book the calendar, teach other people how to do the same thing, do it once a month over the course of the next 12 months. Two, how many goals per month? How many goals per month are being promoted out inside of your group? And make that your mission. Make it your priority. Nothing else. It's your total laser focus. This is what we do. It's part of your identity as an organization. We promote out goals. That's what we do. We promote out goals. That's a part of our culture. It's not if you're going gold, it's how fast. Right? And number three, set a goal for next year's convention now. And then reset that goal when you blow through it. You get 10 people on your team, you get a 10-pack, you go, oh my gosh, I have 100 tickets. Wow. Then set a new goal. Then set a goal after that. Go crazy. If you moved heaven and earth, if you figured out a way to put 1,000 people in a room a year from today, to be earning $1 million a year, would that be worth the effort? Yes. It would. Okay. I'm going to give you my formula for success, a formula that served me for my entire life. And it's different. You know what I found out about entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs? They think different about everything. They think different about work. You know what? When the word work comes up, you know what the average person thinks of? Pain. A necessary evil. That's what they view work as, a necessary evil. Entrepreneurs don't think of work that way. They think of work as far as mission and contribution and value and challenge and excitement and growth. Building something, fixing something, growing something. That's the way they view work. But my formula for success, I found all the top earners follow this simple 3-step formula. And I'll wrap up with this. Number one, they say yes.
Yes.
They just say yes to life. They say yes to gold. They say yes to 10 tickets, not even knowing how they're going to do it. They say yes to growing their local market. They say yes to having the best trained organization inside the company and inside the profession. They say yes. You know what I mean? All right, say yes. Number two, they tell the world. They say yes first. And then they go tell the whole world, guess what? I'm going to have 100 people by the end of this year. Guess what? I'm going to go gold, or I'm giving $5,000 to my ex. Guess what? I'm going to build the biggest training organization or the biggest training system inside of our local market. Guess what? I'm going to help launch this country. Guess what? Here's what I'm going to do. They tell everybody. I'm going to get 5,000 appointments booked in my team in the month of July. I'm going to promote out 50 goals in the month of July, not 15. I'm going to put 1,000 people in the room a year from today. And then, number three, they figure it out. Yes. Guess what most people in life want to do? Step one, figure it out. How would I do that? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. I need to study for a while. I need to figure what are my resources? Do I have the cash? Do I have the time? Do I have the talent? So they spend all their time trying to figure it out. Then, once they figure it out, then they say yes to themselves. And then if it works really well, then they'll tell the world. They won't risk public embarrassment before they know it's going to happen. Okay? That's not how success happens. That's how mediocre lives. A mediocre life. They figure it out first, mediocre, they say yes, and then they tell the world. There's an element of faith in what we do. PK didn't have it all figured out. The leaders here didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. They just said, yes, we're going to do it. And they told everybody, guess what, we're doing it. No idea how it was going to happen. They had, maybe some clues, but they certainly didn't have a solid, it's changed a million times. Strategies changed a million times. And then they just figured it out. They said yes to putting it on a convention, then they figured it out. They said yes to doing a regional event in their town and fill the room, and then they figured it out. They said yes, I'll do the training, and they figured it out. They said yes, I'll teach you how to go gold, even though I haven't gone gold yet. And they figured it out. Let's go gold together. Let's race, you and me. Let's see who gets there first. See what I mean? This is the formula that yes moves you into action. Tell the world provides accountability. Figure it out, plan to review. So I don't want you to figure out how you're going to get 100 people in a room a year from today. I just want you to say yes and tell the world. We're bringing 100. Now, if you had 8, 100's okay. If you had 50, 100's not okay. If you had 50, we should be shooting for 500. There isn't a person in this room that shouldn't have at least 10 times the number of people that you have in this room. Not a single person. And if you are, you're playing small. You need to go read The Magic of Thinking Big one more time. Okay? So look, I want to see you have a breakthrough bigger than any breakthrough in this profession. I want to see the leadership and the talent in this room rewarded for the effort that you put in up until this point. I want to see you sticking in the face of every critic in the world that's taken an unfair shot. But more than that, I want to see you step into your true self. I want to see you leave that small carcass behind and step in to being that big, bold, vibrant, amazing leader and entrepreneur that you truly are. I want to see you shock your family. I want to see you shock your friends. I want to see you shock yourself over the course of the next 12 months. If you're with me, say yes.
Yeah!